Hello friends, you can log on to primeaptacademy.com to access complete free video courses. So this is the fourth question of the time and work chapter. So question says Albert is 20% more efficient than Brenda and Brenda is 20% less efficient than Charles to finish task T. Working alone, Albert takes 5 days to finish task T. If Albert, Brenda and Charles work together but independently, how long should it take for them to finish the task T? So now over here, this is in this question, we will also talk about what efficiency means and how it translates into number of days. Let us suppose that the work is to create 100 items or 100 artifacts, whatever it is. Some 100 items have to be created. Now it says Albert is 20% more efficient than Brenda. So let's say in time T, Brenda creates 100 items. Okay, in time T, Brenda creates 100 items. So Albert will what do? Albert in time T will be 20% more efficient than Brenda. So Albert will create 20% more items than Brenda. So Albert will create 120 items in time T. Okay. So in time T, Albert creates 120 items. So come back. We'll go to the other screen. So Albert creates 120 items. But if you look at it, our task was only to create 100 items. So if Albert creates 120 items in time T, then in how much time will Albert create 100 items? Okay. So if in time T 120 items are created, this over here should be then equal to T multiplied by number of items are being reduced. So time should be less than T. So it is T into 100 by 120, which is equal to 10T by 12, okay, or 5T by 6, 5T upon 6. So Albert will take 5T upon 6 time. So if you look at it, this is nothing but T upon 1.2, okay, T into 100 by 120 is T by 1 by 2. So this is how efficiency is related, okay. Now, what we also know, it says Brenda is 20% less efficient than Charles to finish task T. So Albert is 20% more efficient than Brenda, okay, but Brenda is 20% less efficient than Charles. So in this case, what will be the amount of items Charles will be creating? So if Brenda is 20% less efficient than Charles, then let's say Charles is creating X items. Okay, so and Brenda is 20% less than that. So 100 items is 20% less than X. Okay, so 100 is equal to 20% less than X. Okay, these many items Charles are creating X over here. Okay, so now if I do the math over here, it will be 100 is equal to 0.8X. or X is equal to 100 upon 0.8, okay, which is equal to 125. 100 by 0.8, which is equal to 125, or 1000 by 8, that will be 125. So Charles create 125 items in that time. All right. So in time T, if Brenda creates 100 items, Albert being 20% more efficient than Brenda will do 120 items. And Charles will create 125 items. Okay. Now, the thing that we did with Albert, we'll also do with Charles here. Let me write the Charles situation here. So Charles creates 125 items in T hours or days, or in time T, whatever it is. Okay, in time T. But you have to only create 100 items to finish the task. So Charles will then create Charles will then create 100 items in how much time? That time will be equal to T into 125 by 100, which is equal to 5T upon 4. 5T by 4. Okay, so Charles will take 5T upon 4 time. Okay. Now, if you look at it, the question has now become that Albert finishes the task if Albert takes 5T upon 6. 5T upon 6, it is in hours or what? Days. It's in days because it says 5 days. So if Albert takes 5T upon 6 days to finish the task, then Brenda is taking T days to finish the task, and Charles will take 5T upon 4 days to finish the task. Okay. Now the question is, when all of these three work together, how much time it should take to finish the task completely. But it says Albert also takes 5 days to finish the task working alone. So if Albert is taking 5 days to finish the task working alone, that means over here 5T upon 6 should be equal to 5. Okay, because Albert is taking 5 days to finish the task. So from here, what do I conclude? That T is equal to 6. This 5 goes away. So T is 6. So if T is 6, I will just plug in the numbers. Albert takes 5 days to finish this task working alone. Brenda will take 6 days of time to finish the task working alone. Charles will take 5 into 5, 25 by 4. 25 by 4 days to finish the task working alone. Okay, I have explained everything in detail over here so that you understand the concept of efficiency and how it relates to the time that is taken. Okay, in the exam, if I know all this logic, I could have directly put in the time taken by Albert as if Brenda takes T, then Albert will take T divided by 1.2, and if Brenda takes T, then Charles will do T divided by 0.8, just 20% less. Okay, but you should have the understanding, because sometimes the question might be twisted in such a way that you might have to go through this in this pattern. Okay, so that is why you should have the understanding how efficiency relates to the time. So efficiency basically directly relates to the output of work, and then you convert it to time, like over here we did. So now the question becomes very simple. All these three, Albert, Brenda and Charles, work together. You have to figure out that how many days it will take to finish the task. So in one day, Albert will do 1/5 of the task, Brenda will do 1/6 of the task, Charles will do 4 by 25th of the task. So now LCM of that will be 150. And this is 150. So 1/5, this is 30, 5 into 30 is 150 plus 6 into 25 is 150. 25 into 6 is 150, so 4 into 6 is 24. So this becomes 30 plus 25 is 55, then 65, 75 and 4, 79. This is 79 upon 150. So 79 upon 150th of the work is done in 1 hour. So if 79 upon 150th of the work is done in 1 hour, it will take how many hours to finish the task? 150 upon 79. So 150 divided by 79 hours. Over here is the correct answer. Alright, that's how we solve this question.